Logging 200, baby. Hey guys, it's Shi, and today we're going to take you from level 0 to level 200 mining, and it's going to be a 3-stage project. First stage is going to happen right outside of Brightwood, and we're going to chop young and mature trees. Second stage is going to happen a little bit further away. We're going to focus on Wyrdwood and everything around it. And the third stage is going to focus almost exclusively on Ironwood, and everything else is just a bonus. Let's go ahead and get into it. It is really nice to have gathering alacrity, so you can get haste between trees, and logging discipline, but they're not required. One thing that absolutely is a requirement is a common proficiency booster. We're going to use that as a timer. We don't care about the yield. If you're a high enough level to have 300 constitution, that's great. You'll get a one-shot 25% of the time. This is where stage 1 starts, on the southern gate of Brightwood. We're going to focus on young trees until we're level 50. We're going to use Brightwood because they have a lot of larger young trees, and you'll level a little bit faster with them. We cannot harvest some mature trees until we're level 50. Once we're at level 50, we're going to start harvesting mature trees. We're going to do this until we are level 100. We're going to focus from this spot here to this spot here. And we're just going to harvest everything in sight, indiscriminately. So the reason for Brightwood is because right here, where all these farming spots are, it's closer to get to the auction house to sell everything so that you're not overweight. Or, if you want to use them later, your storage shed is just right around the corner. So here to the left is the auction house, if you want to make some money. And right there is the storage shed, if you want to save it for later. We've ground down stage 1. We are now level 100 and ready for Wyrdwood. To do that, we're going to follow this path here. And there's 2 sections of Wyrdwood, as you can see here on screen. And we're going to focus on these 2 until we're level 150. Now, while we're gathering these, we're going to also gather everything around them because of the respawn times. The first spot is right here, and we're going to gather all the trees and everything around them. Again, you may be tempted to just run to the other spot. Don't. Grab a bunch of trees here first. We're going to clear everything around these. Now, if these spawn while you are chopping other things, focus on the blue trees. The blue trees are your experience makers. Hey, look at that, we aptituded. Nice. It's a word. This is why we harvest everything around these. Because if there's one, the others aren't too far off to be respawned. So we want to stick in an area for a little while until the trees start respawning. Now we've pretty much gotten every blue tree here, and we can guarantee we have. We're going to move on to spot number 2. You're going to want to go around this little town here because it is full of enemies, and run down here. You're still going to be a ghost and a wolf, and usually that deer. That's Carol. There's a smaller spot right here, as you can see, and you can usually jump over this without getting stuck too much in the water. Now we're going to do the same thing here. We're going to harvest these trees. We're going to harvest everything around it. In this area are a few enemies that will get in your way. Blue first, everything else second. Make sure you do both. Blue trees are priority. This is why we harvest everything in the area. We wait for these to respawn. Harvesting these other trees will give you some experience, and it'll help you pad out the time with experience until the trees start spawning again. Now, we're going to run back to this spot. Again, I would still harvest the rest of these, and we're going to go back to the other blue trees. Now, while we're waiting on these blue trees to spawn, we're going to harvest everything else until they start spawning. And we're going to repeat the cycle. We're going to do this until we reach 150. It'll come a lot faster than you think. Once we are done, we're going to run all the way back, because we will get full doing this. And we're going to go ahead and sell or deposit, whatever we choose. So you're level 150 on your logging, and it is time to get Ironwood. Let's go ahead and get into it. Now I'm going to show you this from Brightwood itself, because you'll be doing this for a little while. So you're going to see a lot of Wyrdwood trees here. We're going to ignore them. This is for 150 plus right here. We're going to ignore those. We're going to go all the way to that little hamlet over there. Now, to do this part, you must have the proficiency booster. Common. It needs to be common for that 15-minute timer. I'm going to show you what we're going to do here. These trees are the mainstay of your experience. You want to get these at every opportunity. This is 90% of what you're going to be doing is the ironwood trees. And again, you have to be 150 for this. Now we're going to chop down this tree. The moment you chop the tree down, drink a proficiency booster. Check out this timer. That's what we're going for. This is our timer to be back here. We need to be back here in exactly 15 minutes. These trees spawn between 15 and 20 minutes. It is worth waiting here on these trees to spawn versus farming other things. So we're going to go ahead and take the rest of these. You'll notice that gives us 5,900 logging. Alright, so once we've cut these and we have a timer running, we're going to run all the way over there. And we're going to keep this circle going. And this will get you from 150 to 200 in about a day of playtime. Alright, we're going to go through this forest and pass over this river. There are some better spots to do it than this, but follow with me. We're going to harvest these blue trees. Now we're going to clear this area and move back to the other Wyrdwood tree spot. Again, remember we're watching that timer the entire time. So these are gone. Once we clear out this general area, we'll go back to the first. Oop. Perfect timing. Beautiful. The general priority you should follow is Ironwood, Wyrdwood, mature trees, and then green trees. But you can sell them all. Every one of them is sellable. That's enough clearing here. We're going to go back to the other spot. We're going to cross this river, little hop there. There we go. So for here, it's better if you just kind of go straight when you go over the river. Avoid the ghosts. And we're going to go over here to these Wyrdwood trees while we're waiting on those Ironwoods to respawn. Now there's a little visual bug if you have your render distance all the way up. It'll look like there's trees over there. Once we get closer, they'll disappear. Ignore that. We want to focus on that timer. That timer is what we're going by, not by how it looks. And there's some competition, so let's go ahead and start harvesting normal trees. Again, our priority is mature trees, then young trees. We're going to clear this zone, then we're going to check those trees over there just to make sure none of the smaller ones will pop back up. I want you guys to remember for this, always be chopping. While we're focusing on the ironwood, every little bit of experience helps. But the ironwood is the mainstay of all that we're getting in terms of experience. That is 90% of it. The rest of it is just padding time for that to come back up and making the best use of it. Alright, after these two, we're going to go over there and check on those. Maybe chop some trees over there just to be safe. Alright, so you see how that tree just disappeared? That's what I was talking about earlier. Don't go by how it visually looks. Go by the timer. And our timer says we have 8 minutes left. Oh, we see a blue tree. We're going to retreat a little bit, go grab it. You can, if you prefer, stay exactly on the blue trees. I prefer not to. Alright, we have 6 minutes. We're going to go back to this other spot. Again, we're going to avoid the ghosts. We're going to do some chopping over here. Alright, now we're going to chop over here for a little bit, waiting on these to respawn. They do spawn irregularly, so make sure you're hitting both spots regularly. We're going to float between both Wyrdwood spots while we wait on that timer to get low enough to go to the Ironwood. Checking our timer, we can see that we're at about 4 minutes. We don't want to miss that Ironwood. That is the key to the entire strategy. There are no blue trees. And there are no trees over there. So we're going to chop here and work our way there while we wait on this timer. We have 4 minutes to burn. Now, every little bit of XP here does help. If you have followed our other video and you have the 200 mining or 150, you can go over there and get that orichalcum. Completely up to you. Right now, we're focusing entirely on logging. Our timer has 3 minutes left. We need to be in this area for sure. Oh, we see an Ironwood now. They're starting to come back up. So you can see just by following that timer, we can be over here right about the time they respawn. About 15 to 20 minutes. you will always get some Ironwood spawning for you. You may have to wait a minute, but it'll be there. Remember to always be chopping, so we're going to go over here and get these. And there it is, right on time. We have 25 seconds left on the timer and the tree spawned. So with 25 seconds left on the timer, you can see how it works out. And that is a fully completed route. We go from the Ironwood to both Wyrdwood spots and back to the Ironwood on a 15-minute timer. I hope you liked it. If this helps, let me know in the comments. If you know a better route, again, let me know in the comments. Y'all have a great day.